Hey guys, it's Brandon again. I've gotten some views and likes and comments on the videos I've uploaded about the JavaScript raycasting engine that I've been working on. So what I thought I'd do today is go ahead and show you what I've got on it so far and kind of tell you what I'm going for here. This is something I'm making for my business Ape Apps. You can find my Ape Apps channel on YouTube here for a lot of content regarding that. But this is called Raycast Studio. This is 100% in the browser, made with JavaScript, runs JavaScript, not using any third-party libraries or anything like that. And the point of it is it's going to be a website that allows users to create their own first-person games using a software-based Raycast engine. If you don't know about raycasting, it's kind of the technology used to make old games like Wolfenstein 3D. And my goal here when I'm done is to make it super easy for anybody to just, with no programming or game development skills at all, to make their own shooter game from scratch that will run in any web browser or on mobile and will have gamepad support. So it's going to be really cool when it's done, I think. And as you can see, this is the editor interface right here. Map sizes with this engine are infinite, and they're going to be packaged together in a single file. The file will contain all of the graphics, enemies, sprites, and all the maps in one file, so you can easily distribute your games any way you see fit. And so what we have here, you got the main editor screen on the left. On the right here is your toolbar, and there's a little preview window that updates live of what your map looks like. And then there's different sections. First one, map information. And by the way, this is nowhere near being done, so I'm just showing you kind of what I have so far. There's map information. Here's where all your map textures are going to be. Are going to be sprites that you've added to the map, items and power-ups, enemies and NPCs, and this is going to be for lighting. And there's going to be other things you can do too for to have like scripting, dialogue, events, triggers, things like that. But like I said, I still have a long ways to go. So let's just look at the tile map, because that's, well, first of all, let's go to the this first section, map info. Each map has an ID, a name. The IDs are going to be used for transferring from one map to another. So you could have one exit that links you to another map, one exit that goes to a different map, etc. You can change the overall ceiling color. Say we wanted to make it a light blue, so it looks like a sky, or a green for the floor, so it looks like grass. And if we go over to our lighting real quick, we can make it darker or lighter. We can change the fog color. Generally you do this, for instance, if we made it a green, it looks like you're in a toxic green environment. And you can change the distance at which fog appears. So there's different things you can do. For now, we'll just make that regular. Alright, now let's go to the tile map. When we go to add, we can either use an image of our choosing, or the engine will actually generate a texture for us. So if we go to generate texture, you'll pick a base color, say, let's say orange, and your texture size, how many pixels wide and high the texture is. It works best to be a multiple of 16, or 8 rather, which like so many computer things, but you can pick anything you want. You can add noise to the texture, and I'll show you what that does in a second. You can give size to the noise. And if you add more frames, it'll be an animated type of texture. Say we give these parameters and we say create. It'll load here in a second. This is our texture it made. And let's say we place it right here. As you can see, it's animated. Now we can't see it on here, but if we right click, we center our camera, and using the arrow keys we can move around, and you can see the indicator on there of where your camera is and where it's pointing. And you see our little animated texture that we generated. And there's going to be different options in the texture generator, like if you want a brick texture, there will be one that automatically makes bricks or other common patterns. But as I showed, you can also say add and do an image texture. I probably can't do camera because I'm using my camera right now, but you can pick a file, and let's just go into the folder for my game Death 3D, which you may or may not be familiar with. Game images, tiles. Let's pick a wall texture. Alright, standard wall, import that. Let me go back to full screen here. Now we have this texture, which we can add. And textures like this can be animated also. If you have more than one frame, that's for another day, and I don't know to the extent that that's implemented yet. But another cool thing, let's generate a new texture here, such as a gray. Give it a little noise. Create that. Doesn't have to be animated. We can also put it on the floor. A lot of ray casting engines do not have floor and ceiling casting because it's pretty expensive performance-wise. But as you can tell by the preview, I have pretty good performance on this thing. Although this is a problem you'll get if your textures are not a multiple of 16. They won't line up properly. And I can probably fix that because I obviously fix it for the floor. I got more work to do. But anyway, as you can see, the performance still with floors, ceilings, and walls is great. And not only that, I also have a 2D engine running on the main window here. So that's two rendering engines running simultaneously, and I really don't have any lag at all. So this is going to be a pretty performant JavaScript engine for not using any WebGL at all software calls, all using the 2D canvas. And really, that's the extent to what I have on this engine so far. I'm going to make it really easy to import enemies if you use my service called My Tokens. I don't know if you know about it. Is a tool for automatically creating characters. Normally, if you know anything about a 3D type game, if you're using a sprite-based character, you're going to have at least one frame drawn for the guy standing in every single direction. And if you want animation, the number of frames you have to draw goes up pretty dramatically. I will show you here. Give me a moment. Using my app called My Tokens, which is made for creating characters. Oh, hold on. That's loud. Let me turn off that music. Okay. My Tokens is an app for creating avatars, different types of characters. And it creates 4 different kinds. This is called the Blockhead token, which kind of looks like a Minecraft character. They can also look like a little voxel token for voxel-based apps, or a mini token that are used in some of my games, as you can see here. These sprite-based ones take longer to load because it's creating all of them in the background. After the first time you load it, it goes quite a bit quicker. And then there's the big tokens, which are also sprite-based, which is what would be used in this engine here. I'll show you once they load. I actually should have preloaded this before I started the video, had I been thinking. But anyway, it's pretty easy to create a guy. You pick a name for him. Oh, that's loud. Anyway, you can customize what he looks like. Different skin colors, different hair, eyes, nose, mouth. And then you can export the guy. And you're going to be able to import them into this and use them for enemies and NPCs. That way you don't actually have to create all your own characters. You can generate them pretty easily. You will also be able to upload your own sprites and do anything you want. But like I said before, one of the goals is so that somebody that knows absolutely nothing about graphics design or game development will have everything they need here to make a first-person shooter game. So this is this is what I've been working on. It's called Raycast Studio. So for you guys who have watched the other raycasting videos and wondering where I'm going with this, now you know. I think it's going to be really cool when it's done. It's going to be an easy way to make games, and it's going to take all the thinking and all the programming out of it for you. All the controls are going to be there, the mechanics are going to be there. But I want to be able to create a wide variety of games, from a regular shooter like a Wolfenstein to like an RPG type game where you can interact with the NPCs, have an inventory, and do stuff like that. And the cool thing about a raycasting engine versus like something that uses a real 3D engine, there's no objects you're adding to the scene. And what I mean by that is your map size can basically be infinite with no hit to performance, because no matter how big your map is, the engine is only considering what's right in front of you here. After I get so far away, and of course you can change the rendering distance and whatnot, but at some point things just disappear. And so the performance is going to be good. It's going to run on definitely any desktop or tablet or mobile. And so I'll keep posting updates on my channel here to this engine as I go along, and I think it's going to be really cool. I'm going to make it easy to package and distribute your games. And so if you have any interest in creating your own raycasting type of game, subscribe to the channel and keep watching what I'm doing, and stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching.